Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how are you today? Well, kids, it is TGIF. It is, and tonight, don't forget, we go live at 7 o'clock. So, grab your coffee. Definitely chocolate. I don't know. Are we doing s'mores tonight? Oh my gosh. When I tell you, so much shite. Okay, so this was sent to me from Tops Supermarket, Wright's Corners in New York, between Niagara Falls and Rochester, New York. It was sent to me by a subscriber, and it's a picture. So I'm going to put this in, okay, in just a second. It's talking about, talking about food limits, okay, limits on just about everything. We're going to start seeing them more and more and more and more and more. And, I love when you guys, okay, send me pictures of this stuff, because it brings awareness to everyone, not just here in our country, but to other countries as well. Because whether we realize it or not, my videos reach the UK, from what I understand, Russia, okay, Spain, Venezuela, everywhere. So I want to get, when you're out shopping and you see empty shelves, like empty shelves that you have like never seen before, like it is insane, take those pictures, email them to me. If you see pictures, things that are saying limit, take those pictures. Make sure, it's a limit of what though? You know what I mean? And I want to see them. And when you email them to me, be like, this is the store, this is what it was of, okay? And the general area. You don't have to tell me exactly where you are, because we like to keep our privacy, right on? So let's get that going, okay? Because I feel that it's important that we are in the know right now, okay? And plus, if we have other people in our area that we don't know, and they don't know what's really going on, and they happen to see that particular video, they're like, I didn't realize there was limits, or that the store actually looked like that, that type of thing, okay? Also, now that October's newsletter has rolled out, for November's newsletter, if you would like for your veteran or your active military member in your family, or you, if you're active or a veteran, to be highlighted for November, please send in your picture and a little bit of info about your veteran, or if you are a veteran or active military, please send in those pictures. Plus, we need to highlight a pet for November, okay? And also, if you have any really awesome prepping tips, any recipes, cooking with your preps, stuff like that, okay, submit those recipes, okay? Submit all that information to my email, which is always in the description box below, okay? And also, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, please do so. Email me, email Trish. All the important information is always in the description box below, okay? Along with all of the important information that we always want you guys to have, along with really cool links to get some really cool shite, okay? So submit everything, okay? And then let's get to this, okay? So, ooh, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna put this picture in, okay, so you could see what I was talking about just a few seconds ago, because, I get sidetracked, mom brain. Hang on. And then this subscriber sent me pictures, and he said, I drive a semi-tractor trailer in Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. This is a Walmart in Whitehall, Michigan. The containers wrapped around the store, and there are 4 more at the end of the parking lot. I just noticed these, and we'll be looking at other Walmarts too. Thanks for your videos. My wife and I look forward to them, especially on Friday. Well, sir, I hope you enjoy tonight's live. So I will put these pictures in. Wow. Yeah. Talk about suspicious. I'll put these pictures in right now. And then these pictures, okay, were sent to me. She said, see the attached pictures of the shelves in our local Kroger. I was just in this store last week, and it did not look like this. I must have missed something with the Kool-Aid jammers. Oh, let's not forget the apple juice. Not only are the shelves full, but they needed to fill shelf space beside the Pop-Tarts. Pasta is wiped out. Applesauce also is stretched 8 feet of shelf space. 8 feet of applesauce? Really, Kroger? Who needs that much applesauce? Anyway. While coffee and beans get a 3-foot space. Now listen, if a coffee, oh, maybe I need to take another sip. Hold on. You know when you just get delirious? That's me right now. So if a grocery store put in like a 12-foot section of coffee, I would be like, they're going to get my business. But 8 feet of applesauce, but only 3 feet of coffee? Come on. That's suspicious. So the coffee and the beans only get 3 feet of space. Coffee is very low and it's 3 foot of space. But we will put the pods in a 12-foot section. Vegetables, fruit, snacks are also slim pickings. Let's not forget to put paper plates in with the croutons. She's a wise ass. So just in case we missed them in the paper goods aisle. Even in these areas, they are only faced, not shelf deep. Just thought you and your subscribers want to see what our stores look like here in Texas. Stores are looking to be covering up the shortages, yeah, with wall fillers like the jammers. Right on. Pay attention, people, because when the SHTF happens, you can guarantee the employees will have first dibs on what's on the shelves. Right on. Stack up because soon you will not have the opportunity. Also, no turkey here that I can find. I will be visiting the local Sam's and Walmart in the next couple of days and will keep you posted on how things are looking in the Houston, Texas area. All right, so I'm going to put these pictures in right now. And then I was sent this by a subscriber, and she said, meat inflation, wowzers. Yeah, talk about inflation. This is more like hyperinflation, okay? So I'm going to put this picture in. And for 3.5 pounds of beef ribeye steak, you be the judge. That's all I'm going to say. You be the judge, okay? And then these pictures were sent in to me by one of my channel moderators. You know her as TLWKY, okay? From Dollar General, okay? And it's just, I mean, completely wiped out. Completely. And she's in Kentucky, okay? So, I mean, just, wow. Just unbelievable, wow. So I'll put those pictures in right now. And then these pictures were sent in. She said, I took these on Tuesday, October 19th at my local Meijer store, Meijer. I'm in Northwest Ohio, pretty much on the Ohio-Michigan line. I didn't make it down each aisle, but as you can see, big gaps in some spots. I noticed the dairy section was completely rearranged, looked more spread out. They have limits on tons of items, even limits on ramen. Who the hell puts limits on ramen? Additionally, I wanted to share with you, I've watched you enough to know that you are a Christian. Okay. All right, well, I will put those pictures in right now. And then this was sent to me, okay? So, you know, talking about finances, okay, like we often do on this channel, right? Because believe it or not, finance is a huge part of prepping, is it not? So, Miami, Florida, right? Miami Mayor Francis Suarez says a plan is advancing to pay its city employees in Bitcoin. So I have the, you know, this is just horrifying. You know, you can't actually hold Bitcoin in your hand. So obviously you don't know. I don't know. I have this, there's not an actual link, but I do have the screenshots, okay, of what was said. I'll read them to you and then I'll put them in the video too, okay. Business Week, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez said it's a major priority for the city to be able to pay government employees in Bitcoin. I want us to differentiate ourselves as a crypto capital of the United States or of the world, Suarez said Tuesday in an interview with Bloomberg Technology's Emily Chang. Miami will issue a request for proposal this month to help create that payment mechanism and to let city residents pay fees and potentially even taxes in Bitcoin. In February, Suarez brought a broader proposal before its city commissioners to allow Miami to invest in its own funds in Bitcoin, but Florida statutes don't currently allow local governments to hold such volatile assets. Suarez parried a question about whether he was lobbying Tallahassee for a change. If we would have been able to hold it from the moment that I put the resolution on our agenda, it'd be up by 30 to 40%. So I would have looked like a genius back then, he said. But that's the way it works. In reality, Bitcoin increased about 20% since Suarez's February proposal. Talk about cashless society. So I will put those pictures in right now so you guys can have your references, okay? Hang on. And then I was sent this email by a subscriber, okay? And she said, I'm curious to hear if you have any additional information on the illegal immigrants from the border. So this is going to be a topic of discussion. Okay, so if you guys want to, if you have any information or anything like that, email me or just put it in the comment section. On the immigrants from the border were flown into the country are starting to be relocated to closed military bases. Now, if you remember the video that I had done talking about the food, the dried beans and stuff like that that's being brought to military bases that have limited personnel. Okay, they were suspected to be in warehouses, and I suspect this is also a possibility for the government food hoarding. Is it to feed all of those people? Where are all the missing children? Will we ever know? I bring this up to you because we are in California near a closed army base, Fort Ord, O-R-D. My neighbor works close to the closed base, and last night she saw 4 large buses pulling into the closed gates. She did not follow the buses for safety reasons, but she was curious as to what could possibly be happening. I sent this via email because I do not know if this is what she and I suspect or just a thought in our minds, kind of make you go, yeah, why would 4 large buses be pulling into the gates of a closed military base? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have answers. I wish I did, but I don't have answers. I really don't. And I wish I did. I really do. My gosh. Wow. There's just so much. There's so much that's going on that, has to be talked about. And I mean, I could seriously put out 3-4 videos a day, but I won't. So, yeah, just, and then, another subscriber had sent me this email, and she said, I wanted to share this with you because you have a much larger voice than I do. Well, thank you. She said, I was in Dollar Tree and spoke to the manager. She said that the problem with the coins is the bank used to let them turn them in change at no fee or a 1% fee. So we're talking about the so-called change shortage, okay? Now the bank is charging them over an 8% to turn in the change. So they are attempting to keep as little on hand as possible. This makes it difficult to make change on some days or at some times of of day. This seemed to make more sense to me than anything I've heard so far. Yeah, it does. So, you know, with the change shortage, so the banks are charging the stores a percentage. Why would they do? Wow. All right. So thank you for sending me that, because yeah, that does make a little bit more sense, doesn't it? So then this was sent to me. Remember, I had done the video on the purple fence. Okay, well, this subscriber had sent me pictures of purple fence posts. So hang on. Okay, so this is an article that I found that is based on an analysis, okay, on current data points and trends, including the collapse of agricultural fertilizer production affecting crop yields throughout 2022, okay? The collapse of the supply chain for agricultural machinery parts, no parts for tractors and planters and combines, etc., all right? The continued lockdown induced labor shortages crisis affecting food production and processing companies, and the obvious desire by the regime to cause maximum suffering and death across America via the economic collapse and engineered scarcity. The implications of all this will extend throughout 2022. And will almost certainly persist into 2023. While finance predictions are very difficult to nail down due to the ability of finance markets to suddenly shift, agricultural is dependent on natural cycles and time requirements such as seasons, plant growth, timelines, availability of fertilizer, cost of fuel, transportation infrastructure, etc. Thus, when agricultural imports begin failing in the present, it doesn't require rocket science to project the failures in crop production one or more seasons into the future, which is very, very true. Did you ever get the book? It almost looks like a small magazine. It's like the Farmer's Almanac. Okay, I get that, and it's pretty darn accurate. Okay, so now this is the future results being baked in based on today's conditions and inputs. Now, right now in late 2021, we are seeing the collapse of supply chains for tractor parts, large-scale oil shortage facilities, projecting a crisis in crude oil shortfall in just the next few weeks. Now, soaring energy prices across Europe, energy shortages on a global scale, the shutting down of fertilizer plants, ammonia plants, greenhouse operations, breakdowns in transportation logistics and deliveries, logjam ports and container traffic congestion, and many other factors that essentially describe a kind of siege warfare under which the United States is currently suffering. And we are living in a theater of war right now. And engineered scarcity is just one of the many weapons that has been deployed in that war. Now, knowing all of this, we can easily conclude that food availability is going to be crushed through the remainder of 2021. All through 2022 and likely into 2023. It is no longer a question of whether food scarcity will dramatically worsen over this time period. It's merely a question of why it is being engineered and how long it's going to last. Sometimes sometimes I sit here because I've got a view of my pantry And I look and I'm like, I don't think I have enough. We'll discuss all this tonight during the live. That's all we can do, right? Just support each other, be there for each other, and just hope and pray, right? Honestly. So the Democrats now, they know they're going to be politically slaughtered in the 2022 midterm elections. If those elections are allowed to take place, if you thought and from what I'm hearing, okay, if I even say this term, I can get taken down. Let's go. Okay. Chant was popular. Now, just wait for America to endure another year of starvation, food inflation, supply chain disruptions, border invasions, and money printing madness that loots the American pocketbook. With Democrats already a lawless cabal of heartless criminals who despise the American people, they have been desperately looking for a way to install themselves into permanent power and suspend elections indefinitely. If that happens, hi, Stormy. Working backwards from this goal, this outcome can be only accomplished by declaring martial law and suspending the U.S. Constitution and the democratic election. If we don't have our Constitution, because you know that if martial law gets enacted, the Constitution is null and void, and you do not want that at all. Never, ever. Not now, not ever. Not now, not ever. To declare martial law, they need widespread social chaos with millions of people in the streets wreaking havoc across the nation. The more havoc, the better for the Democrats as they attempt to justify martial law or the invocation of the Insurrection Act. But how do you anger people enough to convince millions of them to take the streets? You starve them out. Just like the video that I did yesterday. 9 missed meals. Engineered food scarcity will ensure those meals are missed in the months ahead. As people go hungry, anger will rise and they will take to the streets. As the chaos spreads, the handlers, potatoes handlers, will respond with increasingly authoritarian police state responses. They're already setting up the narrative by characterizing Americans who buy extra food as hoarders. By the way, that word. This is just the beginning of what will soon be coming, including rationing, food rationing, on a nationwide basis. Remember, we mentioned ration cards. The food rationing will have to be enforced by tying food purchases to a person's ID. From now on, cash only. Go to the ATM, take it out, then go shopping. Which means we will soon have a nation where you don't need an ID to vote, but you need an ID to buy food. This is bullshit. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. I am tired of this. If this sounds infuriating, that's the whole point. That is the whole point of them doing this to us. They want people to get mad, to take to the streets, and creating the backdrop for the deep state false flag operations that can be used to attempt nationwide gun confiscation and the rolling out of martial law. You know what? I fucking dare you to come through those doors. I dare you. Have no doubt that the deep state operatives are right now prepping the fertilizer trucks and chemical weapon stockpiles necessary to pull this off. As the crowds flow into the streets, the deep state will stage terrorism attacks to blame patriots, Christians, and the unarmed candidate. Well, fuck you. You're not going to persecute me because I'm a Christian. You're not doing it. And because I'm a patriot. You're not doing it. The 2022 midterms will be suspended, and Potato might even plunge us into a theatrical war with China, which might even be staged to declare a nationwide lockdown during a time of war. Mass starvation, mass depopulation via bioweapons, deep state chemical weapons, attacks on domestic population, engineered financial collapse. These are just a few of the weapons now at the disposal of American enemies within. They have no hesitation whatsoever in using them to demonize their political opponents and shore up in the authoritarian power, transforming America into a full-blown police state. I can't. We can't let this happen. We can't. I'm sorry I got upset. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. All right, guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fear less. I'll see you tonight at 7.